Hello, all, and we're live. Welcome to the Invictus Community Stream, and we are here for Don't Rest Your Head Session 3. We have with us Bob.
How's it going?
Hello, Bob. Bob's playing Piper Vale. And we have Chris Hackney with us as Tim. And we have with us Dan, that's playing Hank Von
Kajuskowski.
Kazikowski. And then we have our
Wisconsin. I can pronounce all those names. So,
and we have with us our very gracious Ryan as our GM. Hello,
Hey.
Ryan.
How's it going?
Going good. All right, guys. Well, if you're catching us now, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. So go ahead and hit a like if you to help support us and make us feel good about playing some of the games and getting those together for you. Everybody's doing a real good job with the PCs, kind of getting their stuff together and doing some behind the scenes stuff to get some really cool characters for you guys going tonight. Also, we have Ryan that's been doing the GM stuff, that's been creating a really cool story and helping these guys search through this world of Don't Rest Your Head. If you're not, go ahead and if you're not a member of the Invictus Community Stream, go ahead and check us out. We should have some information below in the description that will help you find us on Facebook. And we are also a group of people that got together from the Invictus YouTube channel. And they post a live campaign or they go live on Wednesday nights, and make sure you check them out, and because we're checking them out and watching them on Wednesdays. So go ahead and head on over there and see all the really cool campaigns and stuff. But we basically just kind of, as a community from the Facebook group, got together and wanted to come together and play some games ourselves, so we can get some better experience and just kind of find some people that are maybe we don't have some, like a local gaming store where people like to play role-playing games, but this way we all have some stuff in common. So anyway, we're real excited about it, and we will go ahead and turn it over to them tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
All right. So if you guys remember last time, you were hanging out in the Beatnik Cafe in New York with a variety of your missing organs, which you later got placed back inside of you. To go back and find that New York was being plagued by some disease, which most people were experiencing as just like a really terrible sickness. But you had seen these plague birds flying around and flying into people, and decided to catch one in order to hopefully do something about it. You had seen one of the birds, or you made an elaborate plan to catch one of the birds, did that, and started to run as they started to come after you. Made your way into the sewers, and Piper, you had seen one of the teachers from your school, and you made your way into the sewers, and that's where we left off last time. So currently, you guys are down a manhole in a sewer, running along. And you're walking along, and you notice there's a part of the sewer that seems to have there's a door where a door shouldn't be.
So we're in New York right now, correct?
Yes, in the sewers of New York.
Okay. So the doorway is just like one of the portals again?
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty sure it'll take you back to wherever it was that you were before.
And also, oh, I'm sorry.
We have to get this bird back to the witch doctor, right?
Yeah, that was your
Yeah.
your plan last time.
All right.
And didn't we also see Piper's former teacher with our plague doctor as well? Okay.
Yep.
Guys, there's a door up there.
Can we see on the other side of the door? Or is it just all dark?
No, so it's like you're inside and it's like a door frame and it's sort of setting itself in the middle of the sewer.
Oh, okay.
Like it looks like a door just with a frame, but it's not like going through a wall. Like if you can look at it, you can look around at the other side and it looks like a door on both sides.
Okay. So it's one we can open.
You can certainly open it, yeah.
Okay.
I say we at least open it and see what's on the other side. Better than me staying here in case those birds get down the sewers.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe if we all hug the wall and open it so we're not, exposed or anything while, whatever's on the other side of it.
Well, whatever's on the other side can't be worse than what's on this side. So let's do it.
And we can still hear the birds hitting the manhole and the street above us or the alleyway?
Yes, you can. You can hear the birds hitting the manhole, and you figure it's probably got 3 or 4 minutes if they're coming after you for that manhole to get uncovered. So yeah, you open the door and you look inside, and it's really, really dark. You do, however, hear a noise coming out of it. Every so often you hear just sort of like a deep, low beating noise.
Kind of like a heart or a machine?
A little more like a heart than a machine, but it's not like, it's maybe 3 times a second.
Okay.
Slow beating.
Well, I don't think we have we shouldn't really stick around here very long. This looks like it's the only way we're going to get away from those birds and the plague doctor.
Yep. No, let's just get going while the getting's good here.
Okay. I'll go in first. I'll step through first.
Okay. Are you guys waiting for him to talk to you and tell you what's up, or are you all just jumping in?
I'm just going to jump right in.
All right.
I kind of follow, but it's these guys aren't really going to know this, but for a couple of minutes, there's nothing. Normally, I'm quite glib, quite sort of, always got something to say. But for the moment, after what happened in the last sort of few minutes of the last episode, I'm kind of quiet for the moment, and we just kind of follow them. Don't really say much.
No.
Okay.
I just have a huge adrenaline rush going on right now. So.
All right. Cool. So.
Oh, I was just going to ask, which of us has the bird, just to remember?
Which of you has the bird?
I think I did.
I think so, yeah. It was either you or Tim. I forget which, though.
Because Tim was holding off the birds with his
I was getting pecked
force
by
field.
an absolute ton of these things, and then I kind of went Dragon Ball Z on them for a second.
Yeah.
Called out the witch doctor in some insane moment of, well, that'll be explained. And I'm not quite sure whether I grabbed the cage with the bird in it or whether it was someone else.
I think it was Piper who had it.
Yeah, I know you were the one.
Like the most responsible one of us.
All right. Now that I've stopped drinking, I'm pretty responsible again.
For the time being.
For the time being, yes.
All right. So you step in through, and this looks more like a cave than a sewer or an underground. Like it's a tunnel. It does not look man-made or crafted in any sort of way.
Mhm.
And so the tunnel goes two ways. I mean, you step through the door, and it's kind of like going the same in both directions as in the sewer. Behind you, so if you step through the doorway, behind you is sort of a faintly glowing bluish light. You can't tell how far away it is, but it's really small. And ahead of you, it's dark. It's dark in both directions. But ahead of you, the tunnel seems to get a little bit rougher, but still manageable. It just not rough in the sense of like difficult terrain or like you're not going to be able to walk on it, but it looks less, even less sort of hollowed out than what's behind you. So.
All right. First things first, I'm going to shut the door. Just reach over and shut it just to make sure. It'd be like, I'm not sure that thing's going to disappear or not anytime soon, but you know, we might as well. I think we better decide where we're going to go before that doctor, whoever was with him, decides to come down here and join us.
If Tim was in his right mind for Tim, he'd kind of be flashing back to the 2001 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's a lot of fish.
Luckily, he's not in his right mind, so it's fine.
By the way, I'm going to look at Tim and give him a questioning look, and just say, "Are you okay?"
Just sort of get this hand like for a moment, but then he just sort of goes, I'm just trying to work out. There's no perception in this at all, is there? They're literally just turns around and you might not notice it, but he's like, I'm fine.
Okay. Piper, how about you? You're okay?
I'm good. I was just thinking maybe we knock the doorknob off this door, or maybe even outright destroy it so we can't be followed.
That's a good idea, actually. Is there any way we could jam it? Kind of a general question to GM or any character.
So, like, you want to put something in front of it? Or are you just trying to straight up? You don't know much other than it's a door that shouldn't be there. Had not what had happened in the last 24 hours to you had happened, you would believe that you were seeing things. You may still believe that you're seeing things. You don't really know. You could certainly attempt to do whatever you like to the door, but you wouldn't off the top of your head be like, yes, this is how I prevent a trans-dimensional, trans-place door port. There's not a book on it. There's no way you would have any idea about it.
Not a book that we found yet. Are there any rocks on the ground? We could definitely pile some rocks up in front of it if this is a rougher tunnel. And it seems to open inward towards us, so if we block it, they won't be able to get through.
Yeah, you could try to put some rocks in front of it.
Is it a we're still in the underground, so I'm assuming there's still pipes running across the ceiling and such.
No.
Or is this
No.
We've just completely stepped off the beaten track.
You are in a area that is it's like a totally rough tunnel. It looks kind of more like a cave than it does a tunnel, but there's enough room for you to go in, and it seems to be pretty direct for being like a cave. Like a cave system normally like gets big, gets small, goes in all different directions. It has that feel, that like rough feel, but you look and it's sort of like it's going pretty straight to be just like a naturally formed cave. Not to mention the fact that the door led you here. So really your understanding of anything there is pretty little at best.
Anything we do is kind of a guess.
Yeah.
And there's a mysterious blue light.
And
yeah.
Is that coming from behind the door? Is that coming from one end of the tunnel sort of thing?
So you stepped out of the door and you can see around the door, and the tunnel goes in both directions through the door. Kind of like how you walked up to it in the subway and it was just this door in the middle of the subway. So now you've stepped out and part of the tunnel goes ahead of the door, like the way that you stepped out, and part of it goes behind where you stepped out of the door. Behind, there's a mysterious blue light that's sort of flickering on and off. It looks more like fire to you than it does a light bulb. And then ahead of you, it seems to get a little less. There starts to be more differences in the shape. So like some parts will get lower, some parts will be higher. From what you can kind of tell, it starts to look a little bit rougher, more cave-like. But it's all very, very dark, and you can't see very far.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to point at some rocks on the ground, and I say, Piper, how about we grab some of these and we pile them up in front of there so they can't push the door open? That might work. I don't know, but it might work. So.
Yeah, and if not, we'd at least hear, them trying to force the door open.
Exactly. Tim, you want to give us a hand too? Can you?
How many rocks are we talking here? Is it literally, Ryan, have we got do we have an idea of how long this would take to sort of pile up enough rocks to even stop this door from opening, or?
There are a couple of big rocks. You don't know that it would stop it entirely from opening, but you have some good sized, almost obsidian looking rocks, probably I should put my hands up, maybe about like that size. So you could probably put 3 or 4 of them, and it would, while it may not stop them entirely, it would definitely cause problems, you think, for somebody trying to get through. If you wanted to be quick, if you wanted to take time, you could find enough to sort of make a wall of rocks in front of the door.
They're going to make short work of the metal manhole cover, so I'm not thinking that it's going to stop them outright, but slow them down, give us at least a couple seconds extra that we don't have.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so you do that.
Before they sort of start to sort of get lift, try and shift rocks, and it's quite a slow, laborious process, because I can imagine with rocks the size of beach balls and 2 people trying to pick up and shift them, it's going to take them quite a while. So Tim sort of stands, looks at them for a second, looks around, looks up, looks down, sort of goes, all right, fuck this, and then just points towards the ceiling, and I want to do the shadow thing, basically just tries to crack away a chunk of the ceiling above the door.
Okay. So make a this is going to be against a difficulty of 4, but you're going to have to roll at least 1 madness die to do this. So yeah, so it's d6s. You get 3 discipline.
3 discipline, 1 madness, and
you have to do 1 madness. Oh, you do have an exhaustion, so you're going to have to roll an exhaustion. You can have up to 6 madness, but in this case, you have to roll at least 1. So
I'm rolling 5 dice.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll become evident in a minute. Please be good. Please be good. Roll. Come on. Why are you not rolling? There we go. Shit.
No.
So no, that's 2 successes.
Oh, good.
And
yes, I win a tie.
Oh, so this is interesting.
Madness and exhaustion dominate.
It would be. I don't remember which one is the highest. I have the book somewhere. Well, yeah, there's a list there.
2 seconds.
I need to write that down somewhere.
Can't tell. I had it written down somewhere, but
discipline, and then I'll tell you what. I'll let you choose. Would you rather get more tired, or would you rather?
This is probably going to be a tired one.
Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah, you do it. You feel more tired.
Okay.
But so the rocks fall from the ceiling straight onto the door. The door sort of gets covered by in this like heap of rock, and you watch as like you hear a strange noise and the rock sort of melts away, but there's no door where there was a door before. And there's not like a gash or a tear or something. There's just nothing.
I let out a scream of Jesus Christ and jump out of the way of the falling rocks.
Yeah.
Well, I'd waited until you'd moved already. You were already like away from the door when I'd done
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, he was probably like, get out of the way, I'm gonna.
Cause a cave in.
Having done this though, yeah, see, that was kind of I sort of realized that afterwards, but this will explain why. Literally, as this has happened, I sort of look at the door, look at the absence of door and go, all right. Turn around and you'll notice, you must notice immediately the accent change, because Tim, who normally sounds like this, turns around and says, okay, chaps, the way I see it, at some point along the line, Tim's consciousness was fragmented, splintered into who knows how many individual personalities. Now, you can call me confidence, self-preservation, sense of justice, or simply fight. Now, due to some loose connection, one of many, as you've probably guessed, I've ended up in the driving seat. Now, Tim's still in here, dealing with who only knows what. And until a little wet blanket sees fit to retake control, I'll be fucked if I'll see him hurt. Now, thus far, we've only been able to prod and poke, subtly steering him out of danger in one way or another. However, in this place, it seems we aren't quite so limited. And rest assured, I will do my bit to make sure the ball keeps rolling. And he just stands and waits.
I like him. Nice to meet you, Fight.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Thank you. So,
he looks still exactly like Tim. It's basically just Tim, Channel B. He kind of still looks like Simon Pegg, but circus based. But he's just completely, personality's just flipped.
all right. Do we need to reintroduce ourselves? I'm sure you know who we are.
Oh, he knows exactly who you are. He's basically it's like he's been riding side saddle, just been watching the entire time. He's seen everything through Tim's eyes. And although you're not sure whether Tim knows what exactly is going on, because you've told him, he's told you that Tim's kind of somewhere else dealing with something. He's going to be back. He isn't completely gone. It's just literally there seems to be a momentary lapse that happens to do with some sort of recent madness involved problem.
All right. Well, thanks for getting rid of the door. I think we're safe from that for the time being. I think now we got to find a way out of here. What do you guys think? Piper? Fight?
Lead the way, sir.
I think we should go and I don't know how good it's going to be for us, but go towards the light. Somebody's got a fire down here. Maybe we can find out where we are and how to get out. I'd rather not go into the dark where we can't see.
Well, I was thinking, Tim, I mean, Fight. Maybe you still can. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Tim will do if Tim feels more comfortable for your side, use Tim.
But either way, I know that before you were able to go into the shadows and kind of scout out. But maybe
I believe that was our erstwhile companion who remains, sort of having disappeared.
Yes, he never got out of the shadows. Damn.
He'll be back. Put it in me water.
At least now we've come up with a good in-character excuse of what happened to him. He just vanished into the shadows.
We don't know
Right.
where the little fucker's gone.
Yeah. I've got no other good ideas. If you guys want to move towards the light, I think that's perfectly reasonable at the moment. What do you think happened to that door? I mean, it didn't... Weird.
Maybe, just like we were talking about, if it was damaged in any way, it would just totally disappear.
It could be. That's a big tool we can use, or it can be used against us. We may
Yeah,
have
I mean,
to.
it could either be good or bad. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're stuck here, and our only way back to New York for the present time was just destroyed.
Yeah. And
But I'm fine with that from what was on the other side.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not
All
one to
right,
look
well-
a gift horse in the mouth. I think we press on, don't we?
Yes. I agree with the fight. I'm going to get used to that eventually.
Lead on.
Right, Tim, whatever works for you, Sam.
Yep. Lead on.
And
Right.
yeah, literally just walks down, absolutely oblivious of everything, just walks down the are we going towards the light?
Yep. I look
Okay.
over at Piper and be like, we need to keep an eye on him. This could be really good or really bad.
I can hear you.
Well, then we're keeping an eye out on you. This could be really good or really bad, but I trust you.
That's very honest of you.
Honesty's my weakness.
The drink's mine.
Used to
So
be.
you're walking towards the light, and as you get closer and closer, it starts to get the light gets bigger and bigger, and you start to hear sort of rhythmic clinking sounds, sounds like metal striking rock.
Am I still at the front?
Yeah.
Literally, I'm going to sort of enter this, this doorway. Is it a doorway that the light's going through, or is it an archway, or just
No, it's
and then
just
into the tunnel?
It's just part of the tunnel. I mean, it's still a ways away. The light's gotten bigger. You've probably walked 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20. Light's getting bigger, but you start to hear this sound.
Do we hear the sound of cawing behind us by any chance?
Coring? No.
Okay.
But you hear that beating sound still. That hasn't stopped. So throughout the whole tunnels, you hear bump, bump.
Why does it almost feel like we're walking inside of something?
That's what I was just thinking. Maybe this whole place is alive. Because if this was a natural cave, nature doesn't go in a straight line. It almost seems to me like what I was thinking is some large animal made it. But now I hear that, and it sounds more like somebody's working the stone, maybe mining or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're walking up the veins to something.
Could be. I think they've made movies with this idea before. Well, I guess we just got to keep moving forward and seeing what we see, but we might want to, I'd say, maybe stick to the sides a little bit more, maybe stay in the shadows.
All right. So you walk about another 10 minutes. The fire starts to get bigger, and the sound gets louder, and you start to hear there are probably 20, 30 of these, people clink, 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 or things or whatever. You haven't seen anything. You start to see the figures and the shape. It's still really dark in here, even with this blue light, but the shape looks, pretty human from the shadows. Much more human than some other things that you've seen down here.
We can only see it from behind, and this is a classic setup for a horror movie.
I was going to say, if there's no hi-ho, then I think we're in the shit.
Yeah.
So you're hearing the noise, and you're seeing a bunch of different figures, but you can only see the backs of people because they're you have this one blue light in the center, right? That's really, really, it's bright, but it's also dim, right? So it's like reflecting blue everywhere. It's not
Like
really
black
the easiest. Yeah, kind of like a black light. Exactly. A little bit brighter than that. So you can see the forms of things, but you can't see any sort
Detail?
of detail. Yeah.
Just the silhouettes.
And just silhouettes, exactly. And you can hear the clinking.
This reminds me of a few parties I was at in college. Do they seem to be able to? Do they seem to respond to anything except, or are they like totally focused on what they're doing, or do they seem aware of their surroundings?
As far as what you can tell, they seem totally intent on what they're doing. You haven't seen anything happen. You see them like clanking, and occasionally you'll see one like run across somewhere, and you'll hear the sounds of dropping like stone onto other metal. But mostly you hear the rhythmic clanking.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm gonna kind of look at Piper and Tim, be like, do you think we're able to sneak through here, or should we maybe like take a rock and throw it in there and make a noise so that we can see if they respond to anything? Or
Now, the ones running back and forth, are they all running the same way when they're dropping off?
Yeah, you stay there a while. You see they kind of run to the same place, and you hear a drop, and then you'll see them run back.
Do they
Okay.
react? Do they react when I sort of walk over and just sort of dip a hand into whatever it is that they're dropping the bits onto and just pick up one of these rocks to study it?
So you're gonna.
I don't actually pick it up. I get as far as like as though I'm going to pick it up, and I just sort of look around just to see if anyone's, if there's any reaction.
They don't seem to react too much to you at the moment.
What does the rock? Is there any sort of? Do I notice it? Oh shit! Absolutely no reason why I would know what this rock is, because Tim works in an office. Why would he know anything about rock? It would make absolutely, just sort of, I'll beckon the others over and just be like, can you make anything of this?
It's the same obsidian type rock, right?
Yeah, you are noticing something about it that's a little bit strange. So the pieces of obsidian you've grabbed earlier are hard, solid rock. This seems to be a little something about it doesn't strike you as quite right. You'd have to like grab it and pick it up to sort of make anything of it. But it doesn't look the same.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Let's go.
All right. I don't know how you do three versions of this, but
Yeah, that's a good point. So one, two, three.
three. Well, we both beat Piper, no matter what we decide.
Okay, so now it's you and me.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait, what did you have?
I had paper.
I had paper.
Oh, we all had paper.
Oh, we all had paper.
I'd like to think we actually go through this a couple of times and we all have the same thing each time. But then we sort of go, do you know what? Fuck this, and just pick up one of the rocks.
I'll go with
Okay.
it. Sounds good.
Pick it up and just toss it up and down like a tennis ball.
Well, you pick it up, and the first thing you immediately notice is it is like you go to pick it up and you expect to grab a rock, but your fingers kind of sink into it and you grab it. It's not quite malleable as clay. It feels closer to maybe the consistency of wax, but you also notice there's like some deep black colored something kind of extruding from it. And as soon as you pick it up, one of these things skitters towards you and like grabs your hand and looks at you. You notice where there should be eyes, there are just sort of these blue lights. And the mouth, it looks like a person, but their mouth has been stitched shut.
I kind of mutter something about, some expletive, and then trust me to go crawling around in Satan's ear canal or something, and then just sort of go get this off me, get this the fuck off me, to this thing with the blue eyes, and go take it, my fault, my problem, my bad, shouldn't have touched. Take it.
Yeah. So do you like
just literally hold a hand out to it and go, get this the fuck off me?
Yeah. It grabs it, puts it in the thing, and it goes back to its work.
Much obliged to you, sir.
I think we just need to keep walking.
Yeah, 100%.
The thing that they're putting these, whatever it is in, is it like a mine cart, or is it a conveyor belt, or what is it?
It is a closest thing it looks like is a mine cart, but it doesn't have wheels. It's not on like a track. It's like a smaller metal looking bin. So reasonably one person could, like one or two people could carry it, is what it looks like.
But it's just like more of a large bucket. It's not like on a track or anything.
Nope.
It's not big enough for the three of us to jump in and DuckTales this bitch.
No.
Although this could well be a Temple of Doom. So, all right, guys, I vote for getting the fuck out of here right now.
Seconded. Is there an obvious path? I mean, is this one long tube that we've come to this little antechamber and then we can just carry on, or are there
Totally, yeah. So you keep carrying on, and it sort of comes to an area where it starts to branch out in a few different directions. And it also seems to have an access towards the surface. So like you walk about another 30 minutes, and it's more of just this black sort of rough cut tunnel going in one direction. And then it comes to a place where it branches out into three different areas, and three different paths, and there's one behind you. You kind of, one of the paths, you hear a sort of very faint ticking noise through. Another one of the paths, you smell a sort of unpleasant smell coming from. And the third one looks pretty empty, but there's also sort of a access to what seems to be above. Whatever is above here.
After 30 minutes, I've probably pissed these two off no end by humming "Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go."
Okay, well, to be honest with you, my normal gut instinct says just go to the one that seems the easiest. But with everything that's been happening over the last day, if we do that, there's probably going to be some creature there with about thousands of teeth that wants to gnaw our faces off. So I almost vote, let's go towards the noxious smell. It's the least obvious, which means it's probably the best.
Exactly what I. And that would be the middle path.
Yeah.
Part of me is like thinking he's not really said it out loud, but he's sort of gone exit, ominous room with ticking, toilet. So literally, I mean, he could do with a piss. So he just he goes, yeah, and just walked in towards the noxious smell.
All right, fight. Hold back a little bit. Don't give away our position. We got to do this. We got to do this carefully if we're going to do it. I respect your dedication, but
can he don some sort of because with this whole shadow manipulation thing, can I kind of bend shadow around me like a suit? Would you have said would this cost a lot of?
No, I'll let you. At this point, you're kind of in character for the fact that it's not really you who's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's completely he's on like he's a law unto himself, and he will piss away points and madness and for as long as he's around.
Yeah, I feel like this is a thing that you would be able to do because it wouldn't really bother you to do this, whereas it may bother Tim.
But I do it without missing a beat as well. He's like, he's like, just make sure you keep yourself. And I just look around at him, and then just as I look around, this thing just goes, and I'm gone.
Okay.
Is this something I can do with a roll, or is this something that I can do without?
You can just do it without. It's not going to provide you, unless you want it to provide you some type of mechanical benefit, which I don't think it's that. It's just kind of a flavor thing. You can do it without a roll.
I'm not meaning to piss him off. It's just Fight has this kind of personality. He is He's one side of the scale, and he is the one that some people will find really fucking irritating.
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
He's confidence. He has no like filter, no sort of thing that goes, do you know what? Maybe not. He's that guy.
You know,
I think that's why I'm not going to make you roll for it.
Marvelous.
Because you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna make the shadow like for a normal person who doesn't have that who has that filter, that'd be like, okay, this is weird. The shadow is enveloping me. I'm doing it. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk past sort of the ladder and the thing going up, and you go towards the noxious smell, the sort of center path. You start traveling down that path. It takes you 20 minutes or so, and at about 20 minutes, the path starts to widen up a little bit, and it's starting to look more, I guess, how shall I describe it? A little more open. It's still pretty dark, but you notice that the path starts to, at first, there's just like a little bit of like water, and you get about 20 minutes in, and it's not a whole lot of water, but it's maybe an inch or so, and it stinks, but you're mucking through it.
So it's like a fetid swamp.
Yeah, you can't see him, but you kind of hear this. Christ on a bike, that fucking stinks.
It's the bog of never-ending stench over here.
Nobody smoke.
I'd be afraid to light a match in here and probably blow the entire place up.
Then I will try to refrain from doing anything to cause an explosion.
Is it a methane smell, I take it?
It could be. You're not entirely convinced that, everything is the same here, but that's what you would liken it to. It's methane. It's a little bit putrid as well.
Yeah. Oh, God. I feel like I'm going to throw up here.
I just really, really hope right now we're not in anything alive.
Yeah. Well, we are. We're probably coming out of its ass right now.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
At least we'll be beyond it when we come out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna grab like the sleeve of my shirt and just put it over my mouth like this, try to filter some things out.
All right.
God.
Yeah. So it's kind of like widened out, and you see like, it does look very much like a marsh kind of. You have like little things of land that will poke up occasionally, but mostly it's pretty much this sort of smell and the low water. The further you go, the more the water kind of rises up until it finds like a comfortable position right around just above your ankle. So
really wish I'd remember to wear my swampers. Well, is there any, now that we're kind of out, I'm going to just kind of put my hand up to tell people to hold off and just say, we should probably take a look around and decide where we're going to go next.
We're still in the tunnel, right?
So you notice that the tunnels, it looks like maybe a little ways away, you see what looks like it might be open. There's not light outside, but it seems to continually open up, and you would be very surprised to find that it would continue to have an overhang.
Okay. All right. Well, I say we keep moving.
All right. So you get a little bit further, and you start to see something sort of like moving underneath the water. And you notice as two, like, they're a little ways away, but they're two humanoid looking things get up and they start to like walk over to you. They look a little bit like, they look like bloated corpses.
Those things again, or different things like that?
The things that you saw before?
Yeah.
Or earlier in the session?
Not earlier in the session, but like 2 sessions ago. There was definitely bloated corpse things wandering towards us.
Yes. Yes, they look exactly like the things you saw 2 sessions ago. Yeah.
Oh,
When we
not those things again.
And just uncontrollably, you just hear this out of nowhere. Like he just completely drops his shadow thing. He goes, "Greetings, people of the shit canal."
Yeah, they don't say anything. They keep kind of shambling on towards you.
Are they far away? Has he literally got time to just like not hurt? He's not hurling insults, but he's just literally talking to them, like getting progressively more hacked off with them as they get closer.
I mean, you probably got 3-4 minutes to decide what to do. They're not moving terribly fast, but they are moving consistently. Yeah.
I suggest we run.
I suggest that also. At least try to skirt these things.
Yeah, they're not moving fast. We should be able to outpace them.
All right.
Bite, don't live up to your name. Not this time.
No, the chamber that we're in, are we talking, is it big and circular, or is it just long and kind of, expanded out sideways, or?
Yeah, so it's sort of like, you've been in this narrow path and it started to widen, and it's getting wider and wider. You're having trouble seeing the walls on either side at this point. You've kind of been going down the middle. But there's not like going to be trouble between you getting, if you want to just go in a different direction that they are, like there seems to be open space.
As this sort of dawns on Fight, he kind of goes, "Oh, fuck, have we crawled into its large intestine? If we passed the heart with the noise, we've passed I don't even want to know what the tick was. We've crawled through its, oh, fuck. Gents, all yours. I'll do whatever you want to do."
I say we move to the side at a steady but good clip.
Hank, the man with the plan, let's fucking go.
All right. I kind of veer off to my right and am kind of motioning everyone and just trying to make a quick but very methodical way around without any too many quick moves, so I can keep an eye on them.
I'm going to be at the back watching the pair of them. I'll let these two go, and I'm like, I'm cool. All right, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm going to fight them.
So you guys start running, and you have that the sound of running through a swamp. So there's kind of like occasionally that vacuum suction noise as your foot kind of gets in, and you like have to pull it out.
Swamps.
Okay. So I actually should have actual dice with me for this, but that's fine. So let's see. Let's do that. So you're running along, and you, Tim, need to make a roll as you feel something coil around your foot. So it's going to be against 6 pain.
Okay, my standard roll is 5 now, isn't it? Because I've got the has it gone
Yep.
up by 1? Because I gained an exhaustion, didn't I?
You have 2 exhaustion, and then you have your 3 discipline.
basic.
You don't have a madness, yeah. So
No,
you have
no madness in this one because it's not a madness involved.
it's not a madness talent. You can add it if you want, or you can add another
No.
exhaustion.
Quite crazy enough for the moment.
Right. And if you have any sort of, I forget what your exhaustion skill is. What is that?
No, it's a social skill. It's
Okay,
more
yeah.
sort of bargaining and
Bargaining. Okay. So this is would
negotiating.
be
Pain of 6.
this would be pain of 6. Yeah.
How can this go wrong? I'm just going to go with my standard 5. Actually, no. Do you know what? In keeping with the fact that it's fight, he would match the 6.
Okay.
And he would probably match the 6 with one of his madness dice.
All right.
Just because this guy is on a complete So I'm going to go with 6, and 2 of these are going to be madness dice.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. Oh shit! Oh wait, no, it's not too bad.
2 successes. You have 2 successes, so you win, and pain dominates. All right.
Woo! I get free, but I lose a foot in the process.
You fall, like you do watch him fall on his back into the bog, but you sort of kick at whatever is grabbing you with your other foot, and it seems to let go of you for the moment. You guys watch. You don't see anything. You see a little bit of movement in the water, and you watch him just fall on his back.
And a stream of obscenities. Just enough obscenities to make a sailor blush.
I'm gonna yell Tim and kind of run towards him to help him up.
Okay.
A mud slicked hand just like sticks up out of the slush.
Jesus, what happened?
It's like, cheers, pal. Thanks very much. Try doing that with an accent. But yeah.
What happened? Are you okay?
Don't really want to talk about it, son, but I don't think we're alone in here in a sort of Star Wars Episode 4 kind of way.
Oh, catching the reference. I'm like, oh shit.
Fuck for that, we best run.
Yeah, why couldn't it have been Ewoks?
If Dastardly and Muttley back there catch us, we're pretty much toast. But if this thing fucking catches us, I think we're pretty much fucked. So let's get the fuck out of there.
Run.
Yeah.
I kind of stayed back as he went to help fight, and I'm just like taking the whole scene in, and I just yell, we need to get to dry land.
And I'm caked in mud from head to toe. I am like Swamp Thing at the moment. I'm literally covered in mud from head to toe. I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. That's pretty much it.
But with the build of Simon Pegg.
With the build of Simon Pegg. Just to take the fucking emphasis off it, yes. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Is there anything like dry land around here? I know you said there were like at least like little hillocks or something.
Yeah, you could. I mean, 2 of you could stand on one, but you would be like back to back. You look, and a little ways away, you see a ladder, and kind of a familiar dock-like structure that's a little ways above the what do you call it? Above the swamp.
Okay. I see it yell, ladder, to the ladder.
And I just take off running towards it. Me and the bird.
Yeah. So you can use an exhaustion talent for this roll, but you are all going to have to roll against a pain of 6.
Okay. Now I'm trying to figure out. I have my normal 6 because I have 2 exhaustion. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, that would be 5. With 2 exhaustion, you have 5 because it's 3 discipline, 2 exhaustion.
Okay.
Right now, Piper, one of your discipline is a permanent madness. So you have 2 discipline, 1 madness you have to roll, and 2 exhaustion. So that leaves you at 5 as well.
Okay.
But you have your exhaustion talent. So, which you can either make which is your running. So you can either make a minor use of it, which would guarantee you 2 successes because you have 2 exhaustion dice, or you can make a major use of it, add an exhaustion dice. You'd get 3 successes added on to whatever you roll.
All right. And how many exhaustion can we have?
6. If you ever
6.
have to take more than 6, you are you fall asleep, which is bad.
And we can lose exhaustion over time. Like if we have to add it, it can be taken away eventually.
So if discipline dominates, you can spend a point to get rid of exhaustion or to erase a fight or flight box. Or when I spend my counter, which actually it should be at a 0 because I should leave them up for you guys to see. I have 1 right now. If I ever spend that to make something else dominate, you'll see a 1 on mine, and then you guys can spend that point to do the same thing. So it's like in the game, it's called Hope and Despair. So if we were playing together at a table, I'd put coins in one jar that was for me and another one that was for you. So when a thing, and whenever I would spend a coin, it would go to you guys. So I haven't spent it yet. I just got it.
Okay.
But I get to use that to make things go worse for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll 5.
I'm just gonna roll 5 as well.
Okay.
So we'll 2 discipline, my madness, and so on.
Okay. So then you're just going to make a minor use of your exhaustion talent. So
Yeah.
you will at least get 2 successes no matter what.
Okay.
Because it's running and you're good at that.
Do I have to roll again?
Yeah, all of you have to roll. I'm just going to roll once and you have to see. So what's happening is this thing is coming after all of you individually, but I'm just going to roll once for it instead of 3 times. So you all have to beat the same thing.
I have 2 successes. Oh, hey, 2 successes. I tied.
You tied. So tie goes to the player.
Yes.
I'm going to roll 6 just again because it's fight, and he would roll 6, not to be outdone. Thank Christ for that. Apologies, but not
good.
I'm a millennial. I swear like a sailor myself. Don't apologize to me. So.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. And pain dominates in every one of those instances. So you guys are all successful. You run, but you feel like something tentacle-like grab at your ankle. It kind of like whips at you, Hank. So you have like a bit of a gash on your ankle. And yeah. The other 2 of you, you end up with like a sprained ankle. Like because it like wraps itself around and yanks, and so that kind of throws you off. Unless you have a more creative idea for how this hampers you a little bit. And it pulls at you. You rip free of it and you get to the ladder, but a little worse for the wear.
I'm definitely going to be following up behind because I'm sure since I actually got my ankle, it held me up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, it held all of them up a little bit because pain dominates on all of the rolls. So,
okay.
But you guys are up. But, you know.
Yeah, it slaps me in the back of the legs where my kind of hamstringing me a little bit.
Okay, cool.
I get a bit smacked by it, but literally just Fight like gives it a double-footed kick to to one of its tentacles and like, fuck off, you wanker, and let these two get up past him, and he's just hanging on by one arm, just giving it all sorts of hell verbally, and then just scampers up after them, but with like a giant sort of slap mark, like tentacled slap mark across the face.
It bitch slapped you.
Pretty much.
Don't you talk about my mother like that.
It's gonna sting. It's gonna sting. When Tim wakes up, he's gonna wonder what the hell happened. Imagine the worst hangover you've ever had. Imagine like tentacle slaps and being waken up covered in mud and yeah.
You're assuming this has never happened. Just gonna say.
Yeah. No, this isn't Friday night for Tim.
Okay. I actually knew a guy in real life once who woke up naked in a cornfield about 10 miles out of town and had no idea how he got there. Actually, it was North Dakota, beet field, I'm sure it was actually, but still.
All right. So you make it up. You sort of recognize the area you're in. This is the same place that you started. On top of all of these sort of the swamp with like the risen walkway and the buildings on stilts.
Okay, guys, just gonna say it. Hey, two things. First of all, when we find the witch doctor, we should probably get these cleaned out a little bit. Don't want to get infected. Don't know if we can. But second of all, next time we smell something like that, let's not go towards the smell. Just saying. That may have been an error on our part.
We just sort of stand and ponder for a minute, just thinking like, next time do we go towards the ticking, the ominous ticking? Do we go the easy route? Or do we go towards the sphincter? And there's just that moment, that moment of, okay, so.
Right.
Hopefully there will be a next time.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
I'm kind of hobbled. I'm not going to be able to full on sprint anytime soon.
No, I got my goddamn ankle, and I recognize this place. We run into one of those corpse things. I don't know what the hell we're going to do.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, we're back there.
In the swamp?
No, above the swamp, but in the swamp. Yeah.
We could get on I think this is where we caught the bus. We could go, catch the bus back to the bazaar, maybe find something to, help us out, rejuvenate us.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But then we got to get to the witch doctor ASAP. I mean, I don't know. There are people dying.
Not going to lie to you. While we're here, because obviously Fight has the same memories as Tim. It's like, while we're here, I actually want to go to the witch doctor's house and leave the fucker a little present. Also, I'm busting for a slash. So anyone else wants to join me in this? That's fine. Otherwise, you can wait outside.
Well, we need the witch doctor right now. So let's wait to get revenge until after he stops being useful to us.
Fine. Sorry, fine. And there's as you two sort of walk off, he's literally just peeing because this is Fight. He doesn't care. He's just peeing off the side of the off this wooden jetty into the swamp. just pees. Doesn't drop trout. Just pees over the side and just like hears you two clonk away behind him.
All right.
Completely unfazed.
Below, we hear screams and howls of despair.
No, there's some bubbling and oozing though.
I back off.
You walk around. You have an idea of how to get to the general direction of where the buses should be. You can get there, no problem. You walk by the first little storefront or whatever it was with the guy that you had a little bit of wine with. And he kind of waves at you guys. He's, "Oh, you boys are still here, huh?"
Yeah.
In one form or another.
It's been a day. It's been a day. Thanks for the help, though, earlier.
All right.
Do appreciate it.
Yeah. And he's just kind of like, a little surprised, but to see you again, but just kind of waving you down and, in recognition. And you can head to the bus, no problem, unperturbed.
On the walk to the bus, I kind of, I turn to Hank and kind of just sort of say, I wasn't planning on leaving it any kind of horrible. I was just planning on taking a shit and not flushing it.
No. Figured.
Leave him a little present. Leave him a little present for. Oh, all right, never mind. And he just sort of carries on walking.
In this land, that may be considered an honor. I don't know.
Do you know what? I'll take that chance.
Oh, kitty. Your cat just walked right behind you. So
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
Mine was on my lap earlier. If you saw him, so
He'll move in and out a little bit. Yeah. So you get to the bus. You have the same 3 lines. I assume you're going to go to the sort of Clockwork District because that's where the Witch Doctor is. But you do have the option to go to the Bazaar or to the Black City as well.
We don't have any money. Do we?
You don't need money to take the bus, but I
mean,
believe
Bazaar.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't think so.
Everything from the Bazaar costs. And then, well, either it's something you won't want to pay for or something you couldn't physically pay for without sort of getting yourself lobotomized. So
Yeah.
I'd rather not go out and find more tons.
Yeah, no. For some reason, every time we go down there, I feel like it's a side quest of some sort. The only one who plays video games in this. Okay.
Oh no, 100%.
Like a Piper. Like I figured you would. So.
Well, I hold up the bird and I go, here's my side quest now. I want to get rid of this
Yeah.
smelly thing.
Speaking of unwanted animal intervention, I think I'm about to have a dog join me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I want my cat over here so we can all kind of.
Just one sec. Sorry, your phone charges on the floor. Sorry, just one sec, guys.
What's his name or her name?
The dog is called Bobby.
Bobby.
And
Nice.
that's Sarah in the background, who you probably can't see. But
Oh. Yeah, mine too. My two, Sigurd and SB, have wandered off. One of them's curled up in my Doctor Who blanket, which he thinks is his. So.
somehow I think I've been lumbered with him now. I think he's kind of stuck with me. So fingers crossed he'll just fall asleep. But
And Ryan, what's your cat's name?
Bing Bing.
Bing Bang. Oh, pretty cat.
Yeah. He's interesting fella. We got him at through a foster thing here. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Cool. So you guys take the bus. What direction are you thinking?
I think we just head to the Black City and get this to the Witch Doctor. We got things to do.
ooh, Clockwork District.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's in the Clockwork District.
Oh,
But you know that.
Good catch. Well,
All right.
don't follow my directions then. I don't know where the hell I'm going.
Fight kind of his head starts to like nod a little bit while we're on the bus. So probably take one of you two to like slap him awake, but it just sort of that uncontrollable thing when you get on a bus and it's nice and you're just rocking kind of nice and you kind of go.
You rock, but you're not tired. You don't feel the need to sleep.
It's an unconscious thing. It's just that you automatically just.
I see, like the head bobbing.
Not tired, but you just if you're nice and you're comfy and just everything's just right for the second, and you just kind of go, and you need a full on in the face, not with a tentacle.
I give him a kind of slap on the shoulder, be like, "Hey, you okay, man?"
Yeah, fine. I'm fine. It was just kind of nice for a moment there.
Yeah. The weird thing is, I agree. It's almost like we're getting used to this.
I kind of lean over to Hank and kind of whisper in his ear and tell him, just if he starts getting out of control, fight Tim V2 or whoever he actually is. Just let me know. And I kind of hold my hands up and like static electricity shoots through.
I can still fucking hear you.
And electroshock therapy is supposed to be very beneficial.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson in fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but fuck that.
If you look at the psychological literature, it's actually much more beneficial than the movie made it out to be.
I haven't got enough fucking hair to have all sticky uppy on the top of my head.
I know that feeling.
All right. So your bus comes to a stop. You know where to go. You walk in. Same woman in the front of the office. Sitting there. She looks up. She's like, he's in the back if you need to see him.
Much obliged,
Go ahead.
darling. And just walk straight past her.
Thank you.
Yeah, she kind of cocks her head at you sideways. Not really clear of what to make of that statement and goes back to her work.
Comes back in, just leans on the desk and like, sorry, forgot to introduce myself. Fight, aka Tim. What was it? V2, version 2, 2.0, 1 version, whatever the fuck. I'm all the best parts of Tim, objectively speaking, put into one human being. Not sure how long I'm going to be here, but nice to meet you. And then just straight back out into the back room again.
All right. So you go to the back room. Witch Doctor is doing something. You see him doing grabbing a variety of different things and putting them together in different into his cauldron and sort of like stirring things, saying things.
Oi, oi, doctor, maimed anyone, castrated anyone? Evening, son, how are we?
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah. So he looks at you. He's got the sort of like lab coat thing on, and he's oversized with the wooden mask on the front of his head. And he looks at you, and he's sort of like, so did you bring it back?
Yeah.
I slam the cage up on the table.
He looks at it, and he goes, and so he takes the bird out of the cage. It kind of like still wiggles a little bit as he grabs it. He like touches it a few different ways, and it moves, and then he drops it into the cauldron. And the cauldron like puffs a variety of different colors of smoke. There's like red and green and some yellow and terribly putrid smell comes out for a moment.
Oh God, not again.
Yeah, and you see him like looking at the surface of the thing, and you notice did you guys look into the cauldron as he does this, or you stand back? What are you doing?
Sure, I'll look in.
I think I'm actually going to stand back. I mean, this is a diseased animal, and now it's floating through the air. So
In a weird, strange moment, the fight's kind of stood back for a second because he's just realised he's just tried chatting up the witch doctor's receptionist while caked in mud from head to toe.
Yeah.
Absolutely, still completely Schwarzeneggered.
hey, that might be attractive in this land.
It just sort of comes to him like, oh fuck. But he's lost in his own little world because literally he's fight.
Okay, so you watch inside of the cauldron, and bubbling to the surface are what are presumably some of the bones, feathers of the bird, and they seem to move around making different intricate patterns, and you notice that the witch doctor is like watching those patterns. And he looks at you guys and he says, I think we can make something. He goes, but for me to make the cure, I'm going to need a couple of things.
Side quest.
Yeah. I give Hank a fist bump.
Hey.
Called it. Not gonna lie, called it.
Yeah. And
this guy.
he says, I'm gonna need some of the black wax from underneath the Black City, and
Oh, he has a moment where he just sort of gets his hand out and is like, will this do? And it's just under his fingernails.
he looks and he shakes his head. He's like, no, we're gonna need more than that.
So that's
And he
what it
goes,
was, though.
huh?
So that's what that was, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
Joy.
says, yeah, he goes, that's the right thing. He goes, but you're going to need to get it out of the rock and bring me a sizable amount. He goes, also, going to need some of the swamp mud, but I see you brought plenty of that already. He kind of like cakes it off the side of your face into a like little tub. And I'm going to need you to get some of the blue flame as well. And he hands you a candle. He goes, light this candle with it. You bring me those things, and we got a way to stop this.
Okay. So when we were down there before, and kind of convenient, we were in the right place. There are these creatures that, well, there's a few different creatures down there, but there's these miners. If we go for any of that wax or anything, or their flame, are they going to come after us?
Probably.
Of course.
More importantly, do you have anything that can kill a giant fucking tentacle creature?
Oh no, we maybe you'll find different ways. So we don't have to go back to the swamp.
Just trying to cover all eventualities, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't generally bring I don't create anything to kill giant tentacle creatures. I do.
Could
just
you
bring
fashion
this
a
with me.
giant pair of scissors?
He has like a oversized rusted meat cleaver. And fear strikes you as you realize that this is probably the same tool that he used to do any of the surgery work on you.
Fight kind of steps up to him and says, I will trade you the remaining mud that is about my person for that massive carving knife.
He goes, I tell you what, you can borrow it for the time being. I don't have anyone that I'm going to work on just at the moment, but you're going to have to give that back.
Okay, that's fine. That brings me on to my second question. Do you have a shower?
He looks
Never
at you
mind,
sort of
never mind.
sideways.
You're going to come up with some convoluted fucking question, answer thing, bollocks. Let's just go and get the sludge and the flame and the... Let's just go. Thank you very much. Swipes the carving knife and just like strolls out.
One last question. And so when we were down there before, poor Tim, or Fight now, grabbed some of that black wax, and there was a small creature there. Seemed like something of a nightmare. What the hell are those things?
He goes, those are the silent ones.
Silent ones. So if we make loud noises, we scare them? Just hoping.
Not quite, no.
No, of course not. And I'm sure they're deadly, aren't they?
I mean, he goes, they're not terribly strong.
But apparently they're usually pickaxes.
He goes, yeah, for mining. But enough of them could be a problem. A lot of them.
Yeah, technically they had blue flames for eyes. You could technically just stick the candle in their eye, and there you got your flame.
He goes, yeah.
Or that thing in the middle of the tunnel.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, you guys went by one of their camps, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. It was interesting. So, how do we get back down there? Please don't answer go through the swamp.
No. He goes, if you go to the Black City, there should be access to the tunnels down there. That would be probably your best bet.
Okay. Any other bit of advice you can give us? Good, well wishes.
He, it's hard to tell his expression because you have like the wood mask. It doesn't seem to reveal anything, and he just is sort of like, he's very quiet, and he says, I hope you succeed.
You hear
Thanks.
a slow clap from the other room.
I'm starting to think. I'm gonna guess by the end of this, he's gonna really regret kidnapping us.
Yeah. You watch the witch doctor like hit his stick twice against the floor and point to Tim, and then in a puff of green smoke, Tim is a frog.
You say this, oh, bollocks, from the other room.
Yeah.
All right.
Turned him into a horny toad.
Yep.
I'm sat on the desk in front of the receptionist, like, which is toad for damn right.
Kind of like the WB frog.
All right.
So,
go ahead.
and he makes ribbiting noises. Occasionally, there's an obscenity that comes from him, and the witch doctor looks at the other two of you and he says, "Understand, this is a favor, and your friend there better learn a little bit of how to treat people who are doing him a favor." And he says, "By the time you get to the Black City, this should wear off, but I can make it last longer."
And I look over at Hank and it's like, I carried the stupid bird. You can carry the frog.
Oh, brother. All right. I grabbed the cage that the bird was in and hold it open for Tim and be like, get in here. By the time it starts wearing off, we'll let you out.
I'm kind of looking at the cage and going, you've got this little toad head just shaking, going, mm-mm. And I jump onto the cage, and then just literally, just like in sort of bump, I end up on the shoulder.
World's worst pirate. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We got people to save. There are people dying while we're
So you do notice there's the phone that has this thing in front of it, and the number is continually rising. If you remember, there's a number in red and a number in green, and they're going up.
What's the body count at the moment?
Probably 20,000.
Jesus, mate.
Yeah.
You kind of hear this, which is toad for, like, seriously the worst swear word.
Yeah.
That's what I proved was dropped in bad Polish.
Yeah.
And the infection count is probably getting close to 500,000 at this point. So, you guys get into the bus.
Before we get on the bus, we're walking out and I turn around and I just stroll right up to the witch doctor and kind of stick my finger in his face and say, I'm tired of dicking around and I want to know first, what was my teacher doing with the plague doctor when we were getting this bird?
So he looks at you and he goes, interesting. They were a teacher of yours.
Yeah, he was with the plague doctor when we were getting the bird. What do people from my past have to do with anything going on here?
He goes, he says, the Mad City tends to balance itself out from time to time. He goes, some people don't choose to come here. Others do everything they can to get here.
That doesn't tell me anything. If one of my teachers is here, the rest of them, could be close behind, or could be here now. I don't know. But now we're having to deal with this plague doctor and my teachers on top of that. It's just doubly bad.
He goes, normally someone like a plague doctor couldn't exit the Mad City and cause this kind of commotion on his own.
So he was summoned like a demon?
Something like that. Summoned, not per se, but given form within. We can travel freely between the two worlds, but what we can affect depends upon who wants us there and who doesn't.
Well, I just want this to be over. This, every time we come and you send us out to do something, we think it's over, but you tell us you need 2 more things done for you. When's this going to end?
He's like, when we stop this, I mean, I need to know what I need to know in order to make what I need to make.
And this is the end of it. This black
I should
wax.
be able to yes, I should be able to make something from this that you can stop the plague doctor with.
All right. And as I walk away, I'm still pointing. It's like, you better not be lying. And I go join everybody else on the bus.
All right. So you get to the bus. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just humming Weird Al's Another One Rides the Bus.
No.
It seems like a hankish thing to do, actually. He is a bit of a nerd. So
this bus doesn't have a no pets rule, does it?
It doesn't.
No,
it
not
doesn't
that you
today.
notice. So you get on the bus. You take some time to get there. At the end of the bus ride, you notice as the frog eyes turn to more humanish eyes with eye sockets, and Tim slowly, piece by piece, becomes Tim again, or fight on the bus.
As he gets heavier, I'm like, get the hell off my shoulder. Jesus.
Yeah, I just slip off his shoulder and onto the passenger seat next to him, kind of between him and the person who was sat on there already. So, oh, thank fuck for that. Boy, that man's a prick.
Yeah, but he's a prick that we probably can't afford to piss off right now. So.
Oh, well, not going to lie to you. It was my fault. I actually no, sorry.
You enjoyed it and you know it.
A little bit. And at this point, I'm kind of like brushing some of that mud off myself and just basically trying to catch it in something like a pocket or something, because I'm realizing that even the most innocuous sort of stuff in this world it turns out to be quite useful. So I'm just like, for the rest of the bus ride, I'm like picking under my fingernails and trying to put that into a pocket or a pouch. And by the end, Tim ends up quite gross because he's got like a pocket full of mud. Dried mud, and he's got a pocket full of like fingernail scratchings and all sorts, but it's still fine for the moment, so fuck it.
Hey, might be able to sell it over in the bazaar. So.
Yes. It's a shame we're headed to the Black City.
Yeah. So you make your way to the Black City. You get out. You notice again the same thing. These tall, dark, black obsidian-like structures. And you also notice that as you walk along the top of the city, it slowly lifts itself up and slowly sinks back down. It feels like something is almost breathing.
Oh, that's where we were.
Long, like intervals of time. You look around, and there is an entrance to what seems to be underground.
Of course.
I was just thinking, what are they mining that for? I mean, if they're mining it, they're bringing it someplace. See, well, we might be able to find out where they're bringing it and just get some there, rather than going back down in the tunnels where we're more likely to get ourselves killed.
You can make a, I'm going to make it a pain of 6 as well, but you can make a roll with your researcher talent to like sort of figure out where might make the most sense for this stuff to go. Like what kind of buildings, because you've been paying attention to buildings and things like that. So you can use either a minor use of the exhaustion talent or a major use.
Okay. What's the difference between a minor and a major in this case?
So a major use, you'd have to add another exhaustion dice, but you would get to add the number of exhaustion dice you have on your roll to your successes. A minor guarantees you the number of successes that you are rolling. So like right now you're at 2 exhaustion. If you make a minor use, you don't have to add any dice, and you will get 2 successes for sure. But you get whatever you roll. So if you get 3 successes, you get 3. But if you use a major, you get 2 plus whatever you roll. So it's up to you.
Okay. I think I'm just do a minor. Let's figure that. Let's see. Come on,
Okay.
dice.
So you're at 5. Yeah. Okay.
So I got shit. Nope, did not figure this one out.
Did not figure this one out. Yeah.
And you gave yourself a migraine in the process.
Jesus.
However, discipline dominates. So you can either remove a fight or flight box, or you can remove an exhaustion box, or you can do neither of those things if you don't want to.
Actually, I'm going to remove an exhaustion, so I'm only down to 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't want to. It's always nice to have 1 or 2 extra to play around with later. So.
Yeah.
So it
you
hurts
start
like
thinking,
son of a bitch, but it kind of shocks me a little bit more alert. So.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt. You stop to think about it, and you start to put yourself like, okay, like, so I'm one of these people, you start to try to like, not empathize, but try to like think like these things. And you start to go down that path and you're like, nope, not doing that. That's going to end badly for me.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
taking that sort of self-preservation and control, like you feel a little more alert and you're like, okay, like I win here, sort of.
Okay.
Also, he's completely distracted by the fact that I'm sat next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could always just have Tim, who's the persuasive guy, ask somebody.
Really think that's a clever idea while this guy is in control.
So you recall the last time that you were in the Black City, unlike the other 2 areas, the denizens of this place were not particularly friendly towards you.
Yeah.
Oh, skull-faced babies.
God, don't even remind me of those damn things. I would have nightmares if I could ever sleep again.
Silver lining.
Well, even if we did find the wax we needed up on the surface in the Black City, we'd still have to go down and get that blue fire that the witch doctor wants.
That's true. All right, so guys, before we go down here, we should actually come up with a plan. We know these things. If we go for either the wax or the light, they're going to attack us. And and there's probably going to be more of them than us. So how do we do this?
We go in on the attack.
Okay, I somehow knew you were going to say that.
Well, they kind of struck me as, you know, what are they called? The Molochs on the time machine.
Yes, yes, H.G. Wells.
And while they were using light, it was nothing that was going to blind them. So if we somehow had a bright light, if they started chasing us, you know, do something with that, you know, even take something down that's flammable, and I could probably do the rest.
That's a good idea. So like Mogwai, bright light.
Yeah, Tim being the kind of person he is, he would actually have a laser pointer in a sort of laser pointer with cats kind of way. He would have a laser pointer because he has a pocket protector and pens, and he is literally office geek. He would have a laser pointer.
Oh.
And he just kind of gets it out and just starts to like you would with if you had a lightsaber for the first time. He just kind of he's running the dot round on the wall, going, what do you reckon?
That's not a bad idea, actually. We could use that to distract him, and then if we had anything flammable, you know, even like some dry cloth or something, you know. I wonder if this wax is flammable, for that matter.
In which case, we do not want to be going in there with a fucking naked flame. If they're mining the shit out of the walls.
That's well, only if it's highly combustible. I mean, if it just ignites, it'd be fine.
Also, wasn't the air in there like massively potentially kind of not just lose your eyebrows, but lose your face, kind of explosive?
Well, in the swamp it was, but not in the where they were mining, I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything about the air down there.
We went down a stinky tunnel to get to there, if I remember rightly.
Huh, laser pointer. And, well, so you, Piper, I remember you can still shoot a little bit of electricity out of your fingers. Do you think that'd be enough to, say, just start, like, a shirt or something on fire? Because we can use my shirt, if nothing else. Hate to lose it. Don't have a lot to show off underneath, but hey.
Yeah, I could do that, and you know, if worse comes to worse, I could you know, kind of overload and just, you know, we have light and electricity, so I think this sounds like a plan.
Well, sounds like a plan. Not sure if it's the best plan, but it's a plan, and I think it's the best we're going to come up with.
What should we go for first? Should we, when we get down there, kind of two of us team up and go for the light and one for the wax, or?
Well,
I say we hit them both at the same time, and you know, kind of split their forces if they all come after us.
Well, it sounded like they're going to ignore us until we try to mess with them. And Tim tried to grab it before, and they didn't get too violent. They just latched on. So I'm thinking maybe we go for the light first. If they come at us, then we can blind them, grab as much of the wax as we can while they're distracted, and just book it like all hell to get out of there.
I just suddenly thought then, out of character, did we get some way of collecting this fire, or do we have to kind of like get a candle and cheer?
He gave us the candle.
That's okay.
The candle.
In like a glass sort of holster thing, or are we literally going to be running going, shit, don't blow it out, don't blow it out, don't blow it out?
I mean, based on your interactions with the witch doctor before, you think that if he gave you a candle or something like that, like he's not going to give you something that will fail on its own. Like, oh, hey, I got this, you know, it's going to be fairly secure. Like he's doesn't lie to you. He doesn't always tell you the whole truth, but he's not going to give you like a thing that you have to be like, oh God, I hope I don't, you know,
it's not
blow it
Mike's
out.
fault. He just pisses off people by default.
Yeah. So that he's not going to make your job harder than it needs to be necessary in this case. He seems to have an interest in having this happen, or he wouldn't be. I mean, that's your guess, right? He doesn't. seem to do anything for you unless he's interested in making it happen or interested in how it'll turn out. So he's not going to make it like, oh, well, unnecessarily difficult for you.
Yeah. So, hey guys, I'm going to step away from the computer. I use the bathroom quick. Go on without me. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. So, I'm just going to get some water.
And he did give Fight his machete cleaver thing too.
Wait, who's got that now? Because I was a frog for a minute, or a toad for a minute. So has somebody else got that? I'm assuming it would be Hank, because no offense, Piper. Piper's kind of if we got she's going to be the small. And are we talking when we talk meat cleaver? Are we talking like the size of somebody's full arm meat cleaver, or are we talking just standard kitchen meat cleaver?
It looks like a standard kitchen meat cleaver in his hand. So it's a bit large.
But in my hand, it could split a cow.
Yeah, I mean, in your hand, it's big. It's a little unwieldy, but you could do some serious damage with it.
So two-handed for Tim, one-handed for the witch doctor.
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome. Just holding it aloft for a minute, like I am home.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have you guys played or seen, what was it? Something McGee's Wonderland, or are you Alice?
Alice.
It looks like something out of that. Like it's got that real like rusty sort of crazy vibe going on.
Somewhere, some part of Tim flashes back to having his brain reinserted, and a thing involving hand sanitizer and rusty implements, and there's just kind of this.
Yeah.
And he just goes back to holding it like channel A, channel B, back again, and the divide between the two personalities becomes a little bit more obvious.
There's some dried blood on there, and you're a lot of dried blood on it, and you're pretty sure some of it is probably yours. So
yeah, that's what freaks him out for a second.
Yep. And I was gonna say, Piper, as well, with your knowledge, sort of innate knowledge of electronics, you feel like the laser pointer, you may be able to use your power to sort of overload it a couple of times before it would break to make it really bright for a brief second or two.
Okay.
And I can talk to them.
I pass, Fight passes Piper. They go fucking nuts, lad. Just go absolute. Whatever you can do, go fucking nuts. Just passes it on to her, just like, if you want to go full lightsaber with this, absolutely knock yourself out. Just passes it to her.
And I tuck it away.
All right.
Did we get any more information of how we're supposed to find this underworld, or are we just supposed to?
Oh, he told you there are access points to the tunnels. You
I'd
found one
before this and been turned into a toad. So
yeah, I mean there are just basically access tunnels, access to the tunnels. It's not like a big secret how to get underground there. Mm-hmm. They figure anyone who shouldn't be there wouldn't go there. Seems to be the vibe.
Anyone who's stupid enough to would.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Marvelous.
I'd throw back the hatch and start down one of these access tunnels.
All right. So this one has sort of a crossways of four intersecting tunnels. They're the same thing that you saw before. One of them is, the tunnels are sort of small. What do you call it? They're the same tunnels you saw before, where it looks a little too straight to be natural, but a little too rocky and uneven to be created man-made. Intentionally, man-made, or whatever these things are made. So there is a light in one of the directions. There is darkness. So things that had oh, no, sorry. At this access point, because you're right near the bus, there seems to be tunnels that split out into the same thing. There's one that seems to have nothing, one that has sort of a stench, and one that has the ticking sound. It's kind of weird for you because you realize there are these 3 tunnels arranged in the same pattern as before, but like you came in a different place than you think you would come from the swamp. So like you recognize, you're like, this doesn't, the physical space, the way that you understand it, doesn't match up with the way it should
Reality.
be.
Yeah.
This entire place follows dream logic, practically.
I turned to the 2 of them and I said, I thought I may be wrong, but this appears, these tunnels, one go into the darkness, which could be the Dark City. The ticking might be the Clockwork District. And of course, the stinky place is going to be the swamp. We know that for a fact.
That makes sense.
That's got a point.
So it's just like under, it's all underground, but it's like access points where there's no doors getting one from one place to another. Automatically, we have to follow these tunnels, and we would end up in each of these districts.
No, that makes total sense, actually. I'm surprised I didn't think about that. I've been distracted. I need to focus on things. That makes sense. So what do you think our best? So I'd say our best option here to get out of here would be to just get what we got to, and should we run towards the Clockwork District then on our way out? Because I have a feeling we're in the Black City. If we leave here in a rush, nothing says the people of the Black City might not look too friendly upon us. They don't like us anyway.
And I was thinking exactly the same thing. I'd rather not go back to the surface in the Dark City. Maybe we just take a beeline towards the ticking sound and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Hopefully we don't end up in the bomb city. So yeah, fight.
No, he was just crossing his fingers.
Ah, sorry. Thought you were raising your hand.
The whole thought of the bomb city was just, for a moment, it's like, as messed up as this has got, do you know what? I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't either. And sorry, I'm still used to being in a class where people raise their hand a little bit. I think they have a question. So I'm actually although Piper hasn't told us much of her background, you get enough of a sense there's something with her teachers there. I'm constantly happy she's as okay being around me as she is, considering. So
Well, I trust people until they give me a reason not to trust them anymore.
well, that's kind of my philosophy of life too. So
All right. So
All right.
you make your way towards the black tunnel, right?
yeah.
Or the one with the light.
Why? It's weird.
There's
That's
not one with a light at this point. There's it's sort of like the same intersection thing, and
Kinda
there's
like-
one.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So we're going to go on this tunnel.
Totally. Okay. Yeah. So you walk down a ways. You come to another crossroads in the tunnel. 2 ways are totally black. 1 way you see a blue light. And I assume that's where you're going towards.
Who's got the
Yeah.
candle? Hank has the candle?
I might as well. I think Tim had it, but then he got turned into a frog. So
Oh yeah, I lost all my, I've got my carving knife back, my big sort of giant cow splitting meat cleaver thing.
good. Yeah, I got the candle. So when we go in there, we might as well get close. I said probably go for the light first. You distract him, and then we can just grab as much of this crap as we can handle and get out of here. Despite the fact that none of us are running that fast after that stupid swamp creature.
All right. So you make your way down there. You walk up totally unperturbed. You get close to the little cart that they have, and you see. And you get close to the candle. I mean, nobody is bothering you in there. You hear the same rhythmic tapping.
I am definitely going do 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 as I slowly reach out with the candle and look around. I look at Piper and Bud. I'm like, "Are you guys ready?"
All right. So the light's in the center of this room, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the center of like a little chamber. It widens out just a little bit, but it's the same sort of tunnel.
Okay. So the light's in the center. They're dropping the wax off at the side.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the two guys on each side. I'm going to be standing in the middle, kind of looking back and forth. And, you know, I take it we're going to do this at the same time, grab the stuff and get the flame at the same time, just in case something happens. And I'm just getting ready to go spotlight mode on them.
Just as they're about to do this, literally, like he's reaching out, you know, Hank's reaching out for the flame, and Piper's kind of like, you know, checking the thing. She kind of feels a tap on her shoulder, and you know, kind of come up, you know, where in the 19-legged Lovecraftian fuck are we? And you realize it's Tim who's back.
I don't hear that, but if I did,
just like sort of wide-eyed and like you would if you'd woken up having missed sort of, I don't know, a couple of hours of your life.
So Tim doesn't remember anything that happened?
He's been gone for a little while. I mean, should I just, you know?
But last I was there, he was still in the tunnels. He probably doesn't think we've gone that far.
Yeah, do you ask him that, or because he just kind of like, you know, completely, you know, back to being Tim. This fight character, you know, we've gone to the other channel at the worst possible moment, and he's just sort of like woken up holding something that, you know, he feels he might be able to swing if, you know, if possible, if he'd have actually concentrated in PE a few, you know, a good few years ago now, surrounded by neon Jawas with pickaxes and you two, who are the only people who recognize us. So he's kind of, you know, come up to you two and gone, where in the 19-legged Lovecraftian fuck are we?
And I kind of look at him, and I grab him by his shirt, and I turn to Hank, and kind of, it's like, Tim's back.
Oh, God damn it. Fuck.
Thanks.
Tim.
Missed you too.
And
you were fine before. Okay. Basically, we have to get this flame and that wax. We have a laser pointer that's going to blow things up. That's going to blind things.
That's my laser pointer.
Yes, you said we could. Just go with it for right now. We'll get you a new one later.
Okay.
All right. So basically, we need you to stand point. You've got a cleaver there to defend us if need be. I'm going to get the flame. You two are going to go get the wax. Then, if things chase us and go bad, we're going to try to go away quickly and blind them. All right? Make sense?
One question.
Yes.
Which way? Because there's two tunnels.
I point back the way that we came from.
Gotcha.
Ready? Take a deep breath. Put the candle there. Once again, going. I put the wick to it.
So you watch as the candle sort of like, and it kind of sparks at first. Looks a little bit like a sparkler initially. And the flame kind of comes up on the candle. You see some eyes watching you, but there's no action just yet.
I'm going to then take the candle and just slowly edge my way back towards the tunnel that we're going to run down. I'm kind of hoping that maybe if we make no fast motions, we just do this one thing at a time, maybe they won't notice.
Yeah, they definitely noticed. They don't seem to be reacting. A few of them go back to their work as you walk away with the...
Okay. I'm going to look over at Tim Piper, be like, all right, just give this a few seconds, let them go back to work, and so they're not focused on us anymore, then do it.
Do what?
And-
Exactly?
Grab the wax.
What wax?
And I point over to the big bucket, and I said,
Okay,
reach
gotcha.
in there, grab as much as you can, and
Run like fuck.
tell me right before you touch any of it.
Okay.
And you can kind of smell the smell of, it's really light, but it's ozone, and you can kind of hear a humming. And I have the laser pointer in my hand, so I'm kind of like charging it like an EMP grenade or something like that.
The humming's me for some reason. On some level, I've got the compulsion to go.
Does
But I
every
just
personality of his do that?
I just kind of wander over and I'm just like, okay, ready.
All right.
And I'm
So
kind
do
of
you-
I'm blocking Tim as he's doing this. Of course, he's probably bigger than I am, but trying to keep as much of me in front of him, so to block the view while he goes over and tries to get some of the wax.
Okay. So you grab the wax, Tim?
Yeah, just literally, I wait for the signal and then I just go in with both hands as deep as I can go into this barrel and just try.
He gave you a container to like fill it in, so you're not like running with your hands full of this wax.
I was hoping it was going to be like that.
So you go to grab the 2 handfuls of wax and you put it in the container and start to like
I'm putting the Tupperware lid on, like pressing it
yeah,
down.
the Tupperware lid, and instantly you see 20 sets of these blue eyes on you, and about 5 of them are moving aggressively towards you. Not moving aggressively, they're up right on. 3 of them are on Tim, 3 of them are on Piper. You see 3 coming towards you. The rest of them are taking their pickaxes, and they're not making, like before there was one rhythmic sound of them all axing. Now they're making a different pattern in tandem. Like it's like almost like a like light drum beat, sort of like a, and so it's shifted from being like a sound of mining to like them in tandem making the same sound.
We woke up the Balrog.
So it's not like Morse code or anything like that. Any type of
No, it's not type. It's not the type of a code. I mean, it could be something. Well, I'll tell you what. You can make a research roll to see if you would figure it out.
Okay.
It'll only be a pain of 2.
All right, I'll do that. That seems
Relatively easy.
That seems to be my thing. I'll just roll my 5, and I made 2. So.
So were you adding a madness or were you adding 1 exhaustion? Because you're up to 1 exhaustion. Right now.
You're right. Okay. I'll say I'm adding an exhaustion. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So in this case, I can't see.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I have 2 and a
successes.
3. So I have
And
2
then-
successes and 3 misses.
6. So, again, discipline dominates, so you can take that exhaustion right away if you want.
Woohoo!
So you're back to 1. Yeah. So this isn't a code. You couldn't like crack what it means, but it is clearly trying to communicate something. Probably to someone else or something else in these halls.
Guys, it's the goddamn Mines of Moria. They're drawing something. We need to get out.
Run, you fools!
Pretty much, Tim. Pretty much. Piper, I think it's time.
Well, and it's only a pane of 2. There are 3 of them, but the 3 of them are trying to attack both Piper, and another group of 3 are attacking Tim. So you can roll to move out of the way, essentially.
Ladies first.
Alrighty. And again, I'm going to roll 5, with that 1 being madness.
You're actually going to have a slightly higher roll for this. Sorry, it's going to be a pane of 3 for you, and you'll find out momentarily why it's more difficult for you.
Okay, so 6.
Because they're misogynistic creatures.
All right, so I got a 3 and 2 6s. You're going to roll 6?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And
So-
that was a madness, the extra one?
Yeah, the madness was an extra one.
Cool.
That's me.
So that's 1, 2, 3. You have 3 successes, but pain dominates. All right. So, yeah, you get out of the way, but as you get out of the way, one of their faces kind of goes by the blue flame, and you stop for a second because it bears a striking resemblance to somebody who has gone missing from your school.
Okay, I'm just like in the dimness, staring, and I kind of recognize the person, but I'm taking it that again, their mouths are sewn shut and they have
Yeah.
probably no hair or anything like that.
Yeah, the hair seems to be a little more. So some of them are completely bald. The hair seems to be a little more in on this particular one, but it's still falling out and pieces are missing. So, all right.
And I recognize the person as not really a friend, but more of an acquaintance.
Yeah, you can make that call
3 months ago.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it's like an acquaintance. It's not like your best friend or something, but it's like, oh, this was one of the people that went missing. All right, same roll for you, but it's only 2. Tim.
Right, well, we're back to being Tim, so he's not going to go too much higher. He's probably going to go with 3, I reckon. Yeah, he wouldn't overload it because he is Tim and he's quite careful. Oh, bother. Oh, wait, no.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to spend 2 of my points to make madness dominate in this situation.
Tim
I have to
and
beat. So you have. No, I just want to see the switching again, I think.
Oh,
so you have
no.
one flight. You have 1 flight box now. So
Right.
I assume, yeah, you start running.
Did I succeed? All right,
You
okay.
succeed. You
Literally.
move out of the way. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like sort of, push off the wall and just dart towards Piper. No, not Piper. Hank, who's in the sort of escape corridor, and just sort of go. It does take a short while for the madness to. Oh, shit! I've got 2 boxes of madness now. Let me just tick that off so I know how at it.
Oh, you. No. So
shit,
one fight is ticked. 2 flight are ticked. If madness dominates again,
oh no.
then you'll lose one of your discipline dice.
Right. Okay, so I'm all right then. So this is a flight response, but I don't actually gain any more madness until I.
No.
Something.
You don't have any permanent madness yet. I mean, apart from the self-inflicted permanent madness. So.
Yeah. God damn it! So wait, how many can I have maximum permanent madness? Before I go completely off the rails.
When you hit the third one, you go completely off the rails. So you can
Marvelous.
get up to 2. You don't have any though right now, so you're
Okay.
still 3 discipline dice, and you have 2 counters now. So when you guys have a period of rest, you can spend that. If not, like you don't have to like rest. You just have to not be in immediate peril, or you can spend them to give you an extra success. The counter is on my screen.
Okay. Oh, I see them now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it actually helps this character like work a little better if he is slightly towards the leaning towards batshit.
Cool.
The further he gets towards batshit, the more entertaining he is. So I think I'm going to stick. I'm going to make that. I'm going to make that promise now that I'm not going to try and cheat my way out of this.
Cool.
All right. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Piper? You
because I'm still in the chamber with these people around me. Hank has already gone off with the candle. Tim's
I'm
running
kind of
down the
waiting
hall,
for you guys to catch up. So,
and I've still got the laser pointer as more of these figures are coming towards me, and I kind of cup it in both my hands, and I say, "See you in hell," and I just throw it up as far as I can, or as far as the ceiling allows, and just like a miniature sun, the laser pointer explodes, and the light kind of lingers as the bits of metal or falling.
You're going to have to make it's not going to be difficult, but you're going to have to use 2 madness dice to do the roll. I'm going to make it against a pain of 4, but you do have to roll to make it your powers work the way that you want them to.
Where'd he go?
He may have disappeared.
Okay, that was a madness roll, all right? Didn't want to roll those dice. SB, get down. Hold a second until he comes back up anyway. I'm going to grab a
Wow. I've never seen a roll so bad that it actually disconnects you. You've seen me disconnected, 20 times in an hour?
Oh, I remember that one, yeah.
That's been sorted now. That's been sorted. Oh, yeah. One sec.
All right, let's see.
Oh, there we are.
Called out.
All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Figure you were really trying to avoid that roll.
All right. So what do I need to do again?
You need to spend at least 2 madness die to do this, and you're rolling against a pain of 4. So.
Okay.
And I need to start remembering your 3rd discipline die is actually a madness die because you have 1 permanent madness.
Yeah.
White hair and all.
All right. So.
Oh, I gotta clear it and then roll again, so I can actually read what I did.
So I'm doing 5, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to roll 5 because you have 2 exhaustion, and you need to roll 2 madness dice. So
Okay.
you'd have to roll 7.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go. So 1, 2, 3. That sucks.
1, 2. I have 2 successes. And you have 3 successes, but you have 1 madness die that is going. I'm also going to spend another point on you to make madness dominate as well.
All right. So that's 2 madness on me now, right?
It is your no, because your permanent madness happen after all the fight and flight responses are checked.
Okay.
You have 1 more flight response.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, you take flight. You watch as this is successful. All of the things like sort of cower, and you hear the sound stop as the thing explodes. because they're kind of shouting, or they're not making any noise actually, but you hear the rhythmic thing stop. The laser pointer is gone, but it seems to have worked. But you're booking it now, I think, back to that intersection.
Yeah, where we came down the ladder.
Yeah.
Where the tunnel splits off into 3.
Totally. You get to the first initial crossroad, the one that you had to turn to get to the light, and you see in the distance something is starting to walk towards you. It's moving like walking. It looks humanoid in shape. You can't really tell. It's very dark, very shadow. But you see a single candle, like on top of the figure where the head should be. There is sort of a single candle hooded, like with like a hood around it, like a black colored hood with the blue flame. And you hear footsteps that seem to be metal, like it sounds like with every step. Would be, from your experience in video games, it would sound like somebody with some heavy metal armor and TV is walking towards you.
Or a cyber demon from Doom.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's probably going slowly if it's got that much armor and metal feet.
It's going slowly, and it is not in between you and where you want to be.
Then I look at it and I look back at us and I'm just like, guys, let's just keep going.
The places we got down to, was it like sewer grates or something that we dropped down through?
Yeah, it's like a manhole cover.
Are there any of these above, or are we still sort of too deep in the rock of this thing to actually?
You don't see one above you right now, but you do know the direction to go back to, like the initial one that you found, and where the tunnels split off as well.
I think we're. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say anyone's as good as another at the moment when you've got demonic sort of Alphonse Elric kind of coming at you.
All right, so you run towards there, I assume, and you end up in this area where you have the 3 tunnels. There's the ticking, the stench, and the sort of empty one. Are you sticking with your initial plan to go towards the ticking?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Ticking, guys.
Yeah, I follow you and I'm like, please be right, please be right, please be right, please be right,
Okay.
please be right, please be right. With like this Tupperware tub in my hands, like gripped on for grim death.
So you're running down the ticking tunnel. You get pretty, after like 10, 15 minutes of running, right when you start to enter this like ticking tunnel, you don't hear the sound of that metal anymore, the footsteps. You hear a lot of ticking. You get further down the tunnel and you start to hear some skittering.
Oh, God.
Is the best way to describe
those skull
it.
babies again.
My bad.
Yeah.
Well,
So
at least it's not a tentacle.
these tunnels, as you're walking through them, they have a very Victorian age sort of about them. They're stone. There are different, there's different bronze work that goes through it. Not probably more like copper, but that's lining the walls. They're much more even. The ground is tiled, so it's easy to walk in. And there are actual doors in between some of the different places within it. You come up to up the tunnel, and you see 2 doors on either the left and the right of you, and you hear this like skittering noise in front of you, and you start to hear it more clearly, and it's kind of like a clinking noise. You look as these things start to crawl up towards you. And have you guys seen the video where they take the where they have the AI robot with I think it's 8 or 6 legs that learns how to walk. You seen that?
The one you
Yeah.
can't knock over?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will take a leg off and it will teach itself to walk. So when the thing starts walking, it has this really sort of uneven pacing. It looks like that, but they're made of copper. So it has sort of a steampunk vibe to it, right? So they're kind of like copper, but they're moving in a very not normal, not fluent way.
How many?
4 that you can see at the moment.
Are they close enough to, we've got the 2 doors to the left, 2 doors to the right. Are they close
You
enough to
can
get through
engage
the door?
them, or you can open the doors. Those are your choices. You have that time to make a choice.
Tim literally just runs forward, and being Tim, he's going to use his madness talent and basically throw up a wall. Just a wall in the hope. I mean, part of him hopes that they'll just sort of see the wall of shadow and think, it's just another wall, and kind of go. But really, he's just trying to put something physical in between them and us to give us long enough. Even if he has to stand there and hold it, he just wants to put something there long enough to be able to hold them off.
Okay.
While we have a peek through these doors.
2 madness dice for that roll on whatever it is against a pain of. In this case, you're going to be rolling against them to keep them off. So it'll be a little less difficult, but it's going to be a pain of 6 to just kind of hold them at bay.
What's my base roll again? I've forgotten. Is it 5?
Right now, you're looking at a base roll of 5, and in order to do this, you have to roll at least 2 madness dice. Yeah.
I'm looking at 7 against a pain of 6.
Yeah.
Please work.
It's a pretty good roll.
1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit.
Couldn't we use one of our tokens
You totally
to
can.
help him out?
I may have to spend one of these. This doesn't count against the, cheating me out of the madness thing. But
I vote to let him use it. So
1,
Yeah,
2, because you have 3 successes right now, so you'd have to get 1 more. Yeah, you can
I'm gonna
spend one.
spend a token to turn one of these into a success.
Make it success. Okay,
Can I choose which number turns into a success?
No. You just get an extra success. But currently, it looks like discipline dominates. And I'll let that stay as is.
I'm
So
literally holding it up and going, okay, we've not got very long. Just open the doors, look inside, and just get the hell on with it.
do you want to remove an exhaustion or a fight or a flight box?
Can I do that?
Yeah, because discipline dominated. So when
I'll
discipline
get rid of the
dominates,
exhaustion.
good things happen. All right.
I'll get rid of the exhaustion, because the exhaustion, if you get too much exhaustion, you fall asleep, and that's when but if
Yep.
you get too much madness, then it just,
Well, then you turn into one of these crazy things.
actually
So
turn into a fruitcake.
yeah. All right. Cool. So are you going to just open both doors? One at a time?
Yeah.
I'll stick my head in. I do have a candle here, so I should be able so that should cast some light so we can at least see what's going on in either of them.
Yeah. So the door on your right, you open it, you don't see anything, but you hear some really intense hissing noises.
Oh God,
That-
no.
The door on your left, you open and you don't hear anything, you don't see anything.
Snakes to the right of us, nothing to the left.
Oh, not like a animal hiss, like a
Steam.
steam hiss. Yeah.
Which is probably even worse if we have steam spiders coming after us.
There would somehow be steam spiders around here, Piper.
Steam-powered snakes. Sorry,
Why does
never
it always
mind.
have to
I'm
be
still
snakes?
here. Just spitballing.
We got to figure this out soon. Let's just go to the left where there's nothing.
Okay.
Aren't there 2 more doors to check?
No. Because it's a hallway. There's a door on the right, a door on the left. It's like a perfect T sort of intersection thing going on. So You're stopping the skittering spiders in one direction. Behind you is the direction you came. To the right is the hissing noise, and to the left is the nothing.
I know I'm going to regret this, but let's go to the left.
One very quick thing before anybody does anything. I literally just say, does anybody have a coin? You just like root through your pockets. Does anybody have a coin?
Yeah.
Throw it in the empty one. Throw it in the empty one and just find out what happens.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right, I take a quarter and
I just want to see if there's a flaw in there.
the way our luck goes.
This horrible cube-like memory of somebody walking in and just going, ah!
Ah! Wilhelm scream it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I throw a quarter in there just as far as I can get it to see if anything happens.
You hear the quarter kink, 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 like. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
To the steam! No. Okay.
To the sauna.
I lived in the UP for a while. That would actually be kind of nice. Yeah, you guys ready for left then?
Let's go.
All
Just
right.
say the word.
All right, Tim, come on.
Yeah, I wait until they're both through, and then I'm just like, 3, 2, 1, and go! And just literally just, like, as soon as this wall drops, the spiders just see door go slam shut.
Yeah. So you go through, you get back to you get up, you find an access to go up. I assume you take it, or do you want to keep moving?
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys find an access that brings you out. You come up to the regular seats of the Clockwork District. It is 11 o'clock. You see the clocks there because there are the clocks everywhere here, right? You make your way to the Witch Doctor. It only takes you 5 minutes to get there. The woman is at the door. She smiles and says, he's waiting in the back for you.
She looks at me kind of funny, and I'm like, I have no idea why.
Yeah, she's looking at you. Exactly. She's like, huh.
I look at
like
Piper
waiting.
and like,
And I absolutely know.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, come.
Oh, I was just gonna look at Piper and be like, okay, that worked out. Let's not overthink this next time. Maybe if we hear or smell something bad, we just don't go that way.
I agree.
All right. So you go in, you bring the materials to the Witch Doctor, and you watch as he starts to take the clay and he molds it a little bit and he puts it into the cauldron, and it starts to like bubble and frizz and make all this noise, again, the different colors. He takes the bits of the bird again, which he left in like a bowl, and puts it in there and does a variety of other things, and mixes it around, and you hear a lot of like sparking and different noise. And he takes like some big prongs that he has, you've seen like for blacksmiths or something like that, and he puts them into the cauldron and reaches something out, and he pulls up what looks to be a mask that is not identical to, but the same shape of the mask that the Witch Doctor currently has. And he sets it on the table, and you watch as it's like kind of like moving still when he pulls it out, but when he sets it on his table, it sort of solidifies and hardens. And he has this, and he says, he goes, okay, so to stop him, we need to put this on the Witch Doctor, on the Plague Doctor's face. We need to replace the mask he has with this one. He goes, you do that, it'll stop his thing from happening, and it will bring him directly to me, where I will deal with him.
This seems easy enough.
Yeah, because we could get really close to him last time.
And he also pulls out like a little. He goes a small vial, and he has it has this sort of like greenish, thick, almost gelatin in consistency, but not quite that thick. And he puts it into a little glass vial, and he says, "You drink this, and you've got 20 minutes where those birds can't. They can hurt you, but they can't get to you."
Like they can't see us, or they can only like scratch us, but it's not like we'll get sick.
Yeah, they can't. You saw the way that they were responding to other people. They were literally flying inside of people.
Yeah.
So it'd just be like regular, real birds that we'd have to.
It'd just be like regular, real plague birds, not birds that could
Eat
Yeah,
your soul.
so.
Yeah.
slightly less terrifying.
So unless you're a Hitchcock fan.
Yep. Yeah. So he hands you those things, and he says, "You do this, and we will be able to deal with him." And
And then
that's
this whole thing.
Any idea?
If you want to ask any questions, that's cool. But then this is where we're going to leave it. So
Okay. I was just going to say, so does he have any other way to attack us besides just his birds? Because how are we supposed to get close enough to him?
he said he probably has a variety of ways to strike at you besides the birds. But if you get close enough to him, you know, you're going to have to. He's not going to put the mask on willingly. Let's say that. I'll tell you that.
Unless I tell him to. As I think, knowing the powers I've shown up already.
Yeah.
And we're going to be traveling back to New York, right?
Yes, you're going to have to go back to New York.
So that'll kind of work in my favor.
Yeah.
On the note of threatening a supernatural being and the tools that could be potentially used to assist in said endeavor, was that giant meat cleaver expensive? Just out of interest.
He goes, I did expect it to get returned.
I can tell you where it is. Just can't quite lay my hands on it right this second due to it being surrounded by a bunch of potentially electric Jawas, a giant pissed off, possibly suit of armor, and a lot of other things. But I can tell you exactly where it is, unless somehow a metal bin that holds wax will damage it in any way. But could I interest you instead in a pocket full of what looks like black slime and another pocket filled with dried mud?
He lets out a heavy sigh. He goes, "You're going to have to get that back from me."
Out of character, this guy is much more palatable than the other guy.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor must love him, much more than the other guy, because the other guy is a, for want of a better word, prick.
He hasn't turned him into a frog yet, so that's good. From his response, you get it clear that he is, clearly the witch doctor or the plague doctor is the priority. Like, not like you are going to go get that and you are going to go get that now. But he's like,
Tim's written like a to-do list on the back of his hand. One was get brain, and that's been ticked off. The other one was, somewhere on this list is understand what the fuck is going on, and that's kind of written onto a finger because it's just he's literally written all the back of this on his hand with biro. Also, he's written on his thumb because he's got to the bottom buy new laser pointer.
Yeah. So, those things are taken care of. But now that you're going to have to return to New York and deal with the plague doctor. So that's what I've got for you today.
Oh, wow.
And
we actually got out of that one pretty well.
In the words of Fight, let's fucking do this.
All right, guys. Well, awesome. So we will go ahead and we'll pick up for next time. We'll schedule that. And everybody, we really appreciate you all sticking in to catching our episode, and we really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't, go ahead and go over to the Invictus stream and watch them and their campaign stuff, and also too come and check us out at the Facebook community. So all right, we'll see you later.